Sunday supper is a tradition that all Italian Americans hold dear. When you think of Sunday supper, you think of grandma. Now, my mom's parents lived close by when I was growing up, but my grandma on my mom's side was never too known for making pasta or a proper Sunday supper. And as a result, my mom never carried on that tradition on a weekly basis in my house. The tradition was more alive upstate with my dad's parents, who lived up in Albany. A lot of Italian American kids grew up with this Sunday supper as a routine, but since I only visited Albany a few times a year, the tradition was a very special occasion for me. My birthday's 2 days after Christmas, so every year on the 26th, we'd pack up the car and head up to Albany for a few days to spend time with the family. And upon arriving, Grandma would have the Sunday supper on the stove. A big pot of tomato sauce, simmering low and slow, with various meats cooked in the sauce. Grandma used meatballs, Italian sausages, and pork ribs. Some people used braciole, but you can really use anything. The sauce sort of kills two birds with one stone. It's not only making the sauce flavorful for the pasta course or the primi, but it's simultaneously cooking the meats for the secondi, or the second course, which is usually consisting of a heavier meat dish. It's a give and a take. The meats give off their fats and seep into the sauce, giving the sauce this amazingly rich flavor. And the meats in turn absorb that tomato flavor, flavoring them. Its roots come from a Neapolitan ragu, a tomato-based ragu that's primarily flavored by the meats that it's cooked in. The smell is intoxicating, and the tomatoes transform from a fresh pomodoro sauce into this deep, rich ragu filled with sweet beef and pork fat. And you'd eagerly await supper time. You couldn't help but just ripping off a piece of bread, dipping it in the sauce, and enjoying a little snack as almost this amuse-bouche to get your palate excited for the meal to come. And like a military drill sergeant, Grandma would never leave that kitchen, ensuring that every element of Sunday supper was cooked to perfection. When somebody says made with love, that's what that means. She never served the Sunday supper with spaghetti. She only used rigatoni, which had always been my favorite shape of pasta. And once the meal was ready, you sit down with the whole family. You'd usually argue about something, catch up with the people you enjoy most in this world, while you devour a meal that is better than most restaurants could even hope to dream of delivering. Why? Because Grandma poured her heart into the meal, and you can taste it. It's the beauty of home cooking and what sets it apart from dining out. You know the person who's cooking it. You trust them, that they care enough not only about you, but the food that they're feeding you. And they want you to feel good, to feel nourished, to feel satisfied and loved. My grandma since passed on, and as life moved on, the tradition of Sunday supper in my family sort of began to fade. We got older, moved out, and before you know it, the tradition is lost. But what's fun about life now at the age that I'm at is that I could start to begin my own traditions. Use the memories from my past experiences to start to develop my own kind of Sunday supper. Something that's fun and fresh, but still has the soul of something your grandma would serve. And that's why my first pop-up experience will be Sunday supper. This Sunday, November 14th at 7 p.m. at the Stand Comedy Club, me and my man Angelo Compatiello, an expert Italian chef who's going to be making fresh mozzarella, fresh focaccia, sausages, braciole, and more, are going to be turning the upstairs of the Stand Comedy Club into Grandma's house to bring Sunday supper back to life. And what's fun about my Sunday suppers is that they end with a comedy show. To purchase tickets to Sunday supper and the comedy show, the link will be in the description. If you or anyone you know in New York would like to come, share the link, purchase tickets today, and I'll see you Sunday for Sunday supper.